Hello, welcome to Shad Life. Well, it's almost 40 degrees outside, and not too far away is this big bike swap meet thing, which I generally don't go to those, but some people have asked me if I can go to this one, so I'm going to go check it out. And so I thought, well, there's no snow really on the ground aside from little pockets here and there from previous snowfalls like well over a month ago. And it's a little damp out, and the only bike that I have that has fenders is this one. So I am going to take the Bronson over to this swap meet and see what it's all about. So that'll be my video for today, so I can talk a little bit about this and what I think about it while I'm riding it. And we'll see. Let's do it. So I packed it up mainly because I want this full experience. So I'm just gonna grab the thing and carry it up the stairs and outside and then unfold it. So here I go. I want to remember to turn my light off. Hold on. Alright, back to going up the stairs. Well, easiest bike to go up the stairs with than any other bike I've ever owned. Now basically, I'm going to bring it outside. Set it down. Hey. So we're going to set it down. I'm going to kind of lean forward, hoping that helps you see what I'm doing better. But I'm going to just throw that on there. Lift the seat, because that's how the bottom part comes with. Then I can lift this out and connect this. Well, I'm getting pretty good at this, and I've only done it a few times. Oh, come on. There we go. That's done. And then we just pop the back out. That automatically locks into place, so it's all set. Then pop the pedal out and it's ready to go. All right, I'm gonna put my gloves on and start riding, and we'll talk about how it rides. Okay, so I do this ride a lot, you know, because it's from my house and going towards the lakes. And okay, here we go. Oh wow, that's the hardest gear. So one of the interesting things I'll tell you about the ride is it is a little twitchy, like at least at first, but it's not terrible. But it's definitely not like super stable. But it does have a longer wheelbase, even though it's got tiny wheels. The wheelbase is pretty long. So stability wise, I'm going pretty decent speed, probably about maybe a little over 20 miles per hour, because I just came down that hill and it seems fine. Now we got these guys with their little motors on their bikes. That's funny. But yeah, now I'm in way too hard of a gear. I'll talk about shifting in a minute here, because that's another interesting part about this bike. But yeah, the next thing that I would bring up is going over bumps. How was that? Like going over this thing. I thought it was going to be way worse than it is, but it's actually not that bad at all. Like I am actually kind of surprised at how much this just feels like a normal bicycle. I don't know if these people are going to wait for me, but they are, so we're going to go. All right. Okay, so cruising along the bike path. This over here to my right is Lake Harriet. So is this thing comfortable? Yes, like shockingly it's very comfortable. And the handlebars, I actually got, they have a high rise, and then this is the mid, and I opted for the mid-rise, and I'm very upright. I'm not leaned forward hardly at all. So in this short amount of distance that I've ridden, the first question that comes to my head is, would I ride this a long distance? And right now I would say yes. Yes, I would have no problem riding this like a long distance. Now, long distance being, you know, 10, 15, maybe 20 miles. You know, I wouldn't do some crazy epic ride on it, but you know, for cruising around a city, which is exactly what I bought this for, it surprisingly does the trick. Even, you know, I thought these little 16-inch wheels would be an issue, but they're not. Over here to my right, you see all the people out on the lake with the sheds. Every year they do an annual ice shanty, like it's like an arts festival thing. Kind of cool. But yeah, cool that they're actually able to do it on the ice this year. It's actually been cold enough for them to be able to do it, because the last few years they've had to do it on land because the lake was too unstable. So a little warm today, but at least we've had enough cold weather to where the lakes should stay safe for a while. So the ride quality of this is surprising. Like, it's good. Like, I'm shocked. And stability, especially now that I'm used to it, it's like jumping on this after riding a different bike that's way more stable. At that first, you know, block or two, I'm like, oh, this thing's twitchy. But now that I've been riding it a while, I'm super comfortable with it. And one thing I want to talk about is the shifting. So that is extremely awkward. So I opted for the 6-speed model, but really what it is a 3-speed internal rear hub, and it's a Sturmey Archer, old school, like what I had in the 70s. You know, it's obviously modern and newer and probably has better materials and stuff, but it's the same basic concept, right? And then on the left is this lever, right? And then on the right is the 3-speed. So this is the 2-speed on the left, the 3-speed on the right. Well, in order to shift the 3-speed, I have to stop pedaling. So you can't do it while pedaling. I mean, you can, but it like kind of doesn't want to respond. Let's see. Okay, I went up into 3. Oh, I see. It's like shifting into an easier gear while pedaling doesn't work, but shifting into a harder gear while pedaling is fine. But generally, stop pedaling, then pedal, stop pedaling, shift, then pedal. And if I stop pedaling and shift, that's my hardest gear, and it's actually pretty high. It's a very hard gear. So we'll go back to the middle, and then on the left side it's the opposite. I have to be pedaling while shifting. So now I just shifted into the easier cog, and then I shifted into the harder cog. And the reason why you have to pedal while shifting is because it's a more traditional 2 cogs and a little derailleur mechanism that make it so you have to pedal while shifting. It's not an internal system. So what I might be learning here as I'm playing around with the gears is, like, if I need a quick, like, easier climb or something, I'll just use the left one and downshift into the easier gear. And if I need to, I can use the right. But there's a big enough jump between the high gear and the low gear on the left for me to just basically use that. So I got this little hill coming up on your left. And then I shift up into the easier gear and I can climb this hill. Right now, if the hill got even steeper, then I could shift into an easier gear on the right. It's very different. It's nothing like, okay, now it's getting a little harder, so I stop pedaling, shift, now it gets easy. So not intuitive in the sense that of what we're used to on bikes, but once you figure it out, it's just fine. And this bike, it's not a race bike. I'm not trying to like speed shift or anything like that, so it works just fine. Okay, the swap meet is over here somewhere. I don't know exactly where, so I'm gonna find that. It'll be interesting to know if they will let me bring this in with me. I'll fold it up and carry it and see if they'll let me. I did bring a lock just in case they won't. Here we go. So I made it, and I have the Brompton with me, just carrying it around. And here's all the vendors and people doing their thing. And I've already run into a few people I know. I saw Tim over from Esker over there. Ran into Gino from One on One and stuff like that. So I'm just gonna walk around a bit and see what this is all about. But yeah, the ride here was super seamless. I mean, this folding bike is super awesome. I'm pretty impressed by it. This looks like an old Raleigh is my guess. I don't know if it's a Raleigh. I think so. Gosh. Well, if you know, post in the comments what you think it is. That's cool. Huh. Alright, yeah, there's a lot of stuff there. It's pretty wild. Gino was telling me there was some stuff in another section, so I'm gonna go find that. I found it. I actually found Gino. Right there. Oh, so this is where all the used bikes are. A 3.0. I don't even know if I've seen a 3.0. They went out of business. Then you got nicer mountain bikes over here. Looks like some e-bikes. Silly ice cream truck. I actually like the ice cream truck. It's pretty cool. Nice. And road bikes. So nothing really in my wheelhouse over here, and no BMX stuff. So, well, that was a success. And there's the bike, ready to go home. Sweet. So, yeah, I'm very impressed with how this bike rides, and the fact that I can just come here, bring it in with me, carry it around, bring it back out, unfold it, and ride it home. I appreciate your support for my channel. Please like and subscribe.